Indeed, in the rapid development of AI and how it really is evolving, and really the talk of the globe right now. Let's talk more about it here. And for that, we turn to Maribel Lopez. She is the founder and principal analyst at Lopez Research. Maribel, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Great to be here, Sean.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a broad brush to start off with. What do you think were some of the most significant takeaways from the Microsoft and Google conferences, and how important are these?
Actually, the Microsoft and Google conferences were extremely different. Microsoft really honed in on enterprise value for their conference, showcased a lot of enterprises and how that they were using AI and how developers would build things largely for the enterprise environment. When you go to Google I/O, it was really a much broader, shall we say, for humanity discussion. We talked a lot about artists, we talked a lot about science, we talked a lot about how the average user was going to use AI in their life and how it would be more of a trusted universal AI assistant and companion. So really, although they do the same things, very different presentation of what AI looked for each of these. And I think Google spent a long time trying to prove that they had enough value in their suite that they could retain the search business that they have made so much money on.
Maribel, I'm curious with Trump's Mideast trip, to what degree the conversations were around that, Trump's tech policies, specifically his position on AI. And there, of course, is the argument that Trump really has to walk a tightrope right now, restrict sales of the best chips to other nations while still offering them to countries, like we saw from this most recent visit, in his effort to reap a giant investment.
What we see happening with the Trump tariffs is always you want to actually demonstrate that there is still business opportunity in the US, and it's really a matter of how you want to negotiate that opportunity. Clearly, the US has certain regions that they would rather do business with, and I think the latest Middle East trip actually indicates that this is a nation that we see having a tremendous investment in AI. We don't want to lock our companies out of that ability to garner that investment. And so how do we show that if you're willing to work with us, we think in many cases there might be an opportunity to change the tariffs. You've spoken at length about how tariffs are changing on a daily basis, and that's really an indication that tariffs aren't meant to be a long-term thing. They're meant to be a negotiation hammer. Sometimes the hammer is more forceful than not. So it is really interesting to see the extremely dynamic nature of what we're doing with tariffs right now.
Yeah, more stick than carrot, at least for right now. Okay, so how are governments responding to the AI race? And is the U.S. setting guardrails? And like, if a nation promises not to sell the most innovative chips from the United States to a third nation, is there a guarantee that's actually going to happen? How concerned should companies be?
Well, in the real world, it's actually difficult to keep a full handle on this, but let's put it this way. If you want access to some of the best AI technology, and I'm not saying that all of the best AI technology exists in the US, but a large portion of major innovations are happening in the US, you're not going to risk it for a few extra dollars to resell it to somebody else. That actually makes no sense economically. And frankly, if your competing nations don't have access to that technology, you might be more willing to hoard it for yourself. So what I really think we're seeing right now is nations across the globe are thinking very seriously about where their data resides, how they get the right AI technology within their countries to have sovereign AI efforts to ensure the privacy and security of their data, and who they can do business with to make that happen. And I think we're definitely seeing a global environment for AI. Everybody makes it sound like the AI race is over. We're really just at the beginning, and it's actually an indication of every tech conference you go to, there's some major innovation that happens. We're not done yet.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're hearing from so many guests. And with the competition, with the advancements in generative AI, especially between the United States and say and China and tech giants, international giants that are out there, it seems like the field is so wide open that there can be more than one winner.
Well, I absolutely think we don't have a winner today. We just have people that are doing well in the short term. I mean, we could go back and at one point say NVIDIA was in the PC business, and did they know that GPUs were going to be the thing for AI? No, but they figured that out and they made that transition happen. And what I think that means in general, when you look at the market, is there's plenty of opportunity for someone to figure out a specific portion of AI and make that work for them. And we've already seen one indication of that when we had that huge discussion about, well, what does DeepSeek mean for the AI industry? It means that there's plenty of opportunity to create more efficiency in AI. And countries and companies that are good at doing that, they're going to excel in that aspect of it. Others are going to excel in creation of things like those large foundation models, like what we first saw with OpenAI and ChatGPT. And we really don't quite know what's next. So people talk a lot about robotics. We haven't even gotten to quantum computing yet. So there's a tremendous amount of tech innovation yet to be had. And this is not a binary A or B thing. It's not a black or white thing. We're still in a very gray area around this. So I think there's lots of opportunity.